When hope is gone, undo this lock and send me forth on a moonlit walk. Release restraint level 0. Hey kids, wanna see a dead body?
Hey guys, this is the Void of the Ravenclaw. Welcome back to another fanfiction story. If you like this type of content, smash the like button and subscribe for future videos, updates that I do post on my community tab frequently. Now, this is The Son of Brainiac, part 23. Let's continue where we last left off in our story. After None for All broke off the mental link with Deku, he stared upon the Green Lanterns with his hands behind his back, calmly, waiting for their approach. Small pause if you could hear rattling in the background. Apparently my cat's going crazy, so... Anyways, let's continue. The small group of Green Lanterns hovered to a stop as a couple of the Green Lanterns in the back begins to gaze around the damage around the area, and one of their own, completely knocked out, unconscious, in critical condition. And the rest of his fellow Lanterns are either lost or dead. The humanoid-looking alien, Green Lantern, narrowed his eyes at None for All, who was calmly staring above them. Basically staring above them on the ground, as None for All heard the lead Green Lantern in the group finally speak. Did you do this? Indeed, I did. The Green Lanterns couldn't see the power ring on None for All's finger because his hands are still behind his back, blocking the Lantern's view of his hands. I want to know one thing. Why are you doing this? None for All couldn't help but smile slightly from the remark. What an odd question, you ask. Why I've been killing you, Green Lanterns? Mostly for the challenge, of course. The Green Lanterns from the Green Lantern Corps are renowned for their prowess as space enforcers, keeping peace in their sectors that they control. And how do they achieve such prowess? Their power rings, of course. But with all your might, you're all still weak. You deem yourself righteous and powerful, but in truth, you have no real power. You have borrowed power that's not your own. So I decided to help myself. What do you mean by that? This, of course. As None for All removed his hand from his back and shot a concentrated beam of willpower from his power ring and killed the Green Lantern in the front, who was talking to him, as the Green Lantern dropped to the floor hard, as you see a wide hole in the middle of his forehead. As his Green Lantern uniform disappeared, as the power ring flies off of his finger and fly off to find a new holder. None for All did not allow them to form a counterattack. He immediately rained death beams upon them, killing them rapidly, in rapid succession, as all of the power rings begin to fly off. I'm surprised you managed to survive, as he sees the only Green Lantern that survives his deadly assault. You'll die eventually. The wounds I gave you are definitely fatal, as he watched the alien cough up blood. The dying alien didn't counter his comment. He knows he's dead. That energy shot he got shot with pierced one of his hearts, and his other hearts are severely damaged. He knows he's not going to last. None for All grabbed him by the wrists and slowly lifted him up in the middle of the air and placed his index finger inches away from his forehead, as None for All immediately shot out a purplish and greenish death beam right through the alien's head, killing him instantly, as he slowly removed the power ring from his finger and tossed the body to the side, as he slowly slid the finger over one of his fingers, doing what he did to the first power ring that he acquired by overpowering it by his own willpower. There was a fight. The ring was stubborn, but eventually it surrendered to None for All. Much better. None for All returned back to the mothership and head to his new destination, the prison planet of the Green Lantern Corps. None for All knew the prison planet is pretty far away, so he decided to review all the footage that Brainiac collected of Darkseid and Superman fights. That Brainiac managed to record and store away for future use. None for All paid close attention to the footage of the fight that Darkseid and Superman had with many of their, including the rest of their many clashes they had with each other. All for One couldn't wait for the two titans to clash each other. He knows it's only a matter of time before the two titans, the two powerful entities, finally come across each other again. He would like for him to act at that moment, but that's way in the future. None for All turned off the device and put his hands in his pockets and sat down on the throne in the middle of the bridge of the mothership, pondering what he's learned from watching the footage. Superman is indeed powerful. Despite his power, None for All sees several flaws in the way he fights. No techniques, no training, only overpowering his opponent with his superior physical power like a barbarian. Normally that would take out most opponents, but anyone fighting against Superman with any amount of technique and power and intellect can take out Kal-El. Darkseid, on the other hand, is a different matter entirely, It is true Superman has defeated Darkseid before, but with the League, it's only natural they would defeat Darkseid. But None for All found it odd, each time they clash with Darkseid, the Justice League defeats them, but doesn't kill Darkseid. What do you think, Deku? What you were thinking about the Kryptonian is true. He's indeed powerful, but lacks knowledge to utilize his gifts properly. And with my ability to create kryptonite, and being immune to all types of kryptonite, and having the same amount of potential of physical power, I don't think Superman will be a problem. But if we face him now, he would wipe the floor with us. But before you say anything, like I said, for now, he's been absorbing the sun rays long before I started. It's only natural he would be more powerful. And going against Darkseid in our current state would be suicide. He would either outright destroy us or torture us and force us to submit to join his side. Whatever cause he's trying to scheme up, I know for sure his main goal isn't just to conquer the galaxy. At least I don't think that's entirely his plan. It might be a good portion of it, but there's something more he's after. According to what I know about Darkseid, he's been conquering planets in random order. Like he's searching for something, but I'm not entirely sure. I would have to agree with you. A beam of his power. To have a simple goal just to conquer the galaxy alone. He's after something else entirely. Like you said, he's been targeting planets in a random order. The way he's moving, it indeed seems like he's searching for something. That's what All for One and Darkseid have in common. They're schemers. Enough about this subject, but I'm quite curious. Why did you decide to capture another power ring? I'm testing out a theory. I want to see if I'm able to use multiple power rings, not just Green Lantern rings, but all different type of power rings that are out there. I really don't care if these power rings are borrowed power. These rings will be quite useful in a pinch, wouldn't you agree? As a scientist, I would have to agree with you. I do want to run some experiments with that extra power ring you acquired. Doesn't matter to me. But what type of experiments? I want to see if it's possible to make my own power ring. I find these power rings to be very intriguing devices. The power of the emotional spectrum is quite a fascinating subject. I'm quite curious on your thoughts on how you're going to handle the Green Lanterns when we get to the prison planet. Wrong picture, sorry guys. What I'm about to do is when we get there is going to be quite simple. There's no clever way in slaughtering your foes. I'm just going to kill every single Green Lantern I see, cause enough havoc on the grand scale, forcing them to focus their entire attention on me. When that side of the plan is complete, then it will finally be your turn to make your move on the board. Quite clever. I could tell you're going to be a dangerous adversary for whoever you face. Your intelligence is not in knowledge, but in fighting. And you're not stupid. Like I said, I'm the manifestation of your traits, including all for one. I might not know about the whole science, all that science stuff, but I'm no fool. I'm not stupid. I know how to scheme like you. I just choose not to. As much as I'm enjoying this conversation, we're approaching a sector where the prison planet is. It's time to have some real fun. None for all. Make sure he gets close enough that he's close enough that he wouldn't be spotted by the prison planet sensors. None for all eventually hid the mothership in a large asteroid field around one of the moons of the prison planet. None for all was immediately getting intel from the mothership from the main computer on the bridge, identifying 2 outposts on each of the moons. He's going to have to take out the outposts, both of them. I'll definitely need to take out those outposts. If I'm not mistaken, they're listening posts. And if the moment they get wind of me, they'll send they'll send an emergency message and the shield generator that covers an entire planet. And if that happens, there's nothing I could do to get through the planet without blowing the planet up. So taking out those listening posts must be first. If it wasn't for the asteroid field that I'm in right now, they would have already noticed my presence. The asteroid field interrupts their scans in a way that blocks their sensors from detecting me. It would be idiotic of me to do an open assault. Those listening posts, by bursting through the front door, is a bad idea. Infiltration is my best course of action. But how do I go about it? Then None for All notice through one of the monitors of small spider-like brainiac bots are being constructed. None for All formed a smirk on his face. He immediately left the bridge to go where all the infiltration brainiac spiders are being kept and constructed. None for All entered one of the large chambers to find several infiltration spider brainiac bots downloading the infiltration protocol that slowly use for all infiltration brainiac bots. And these brainiac spider bots is one of many different infiltration bots that the infiltration protocol is downloaded into the mainframe. So naturally, None for All got a catalog on how many units are available to be used in combat. He wasn't too surprised by the number of units that are waiting for to be ready to be deployed. So he orders some of the infiltration bots to get ready to be launched upon the moon. None for All sitting on the throne on the bridge as he gave the order to launch the infiltration spider bots upon one of the moons. that they could see from their hiding spot in the asteroid field, circling around the moon. Once the moon was in sight, the mothership immediately launched the infiltration unit upon the moon's surface, a couple of miles away from the listening post, as 50 small round objects smash into the moon's surface. The metal-looking objects begin to melt as 50 black robotic spiders begin to shrink in size. Then after that, they activated their cloaking device and begin to travel towards the listening post while they're invisible. Then that's when None for All finally left the mothership, as he's hovering above the listening post, suppressing his power signature so he wouldn't get detected. Looking down upon the listening post, slowly watching the mechanical spiders getting closer and closer to the listening post. As the small robotic spiders eventually got to the listening post, it began to crawl into the vents entryway on the side of the building into the listening post and began to travel through the vents. Then started to stealthily kill every life signature in the listening post. It didn't take long for None for All to get a message from his ground units that every life form has been eliminated in the listening post. So None for All flew into the top window of the listening post and basically cut through the glass with purple and green heat vision. He doesn't like using heat vision, but he can. His heat vision weakest form is what he just used, but when he uses his heat vision, when he focuses more energy in his heat vision, making it more powerful, it turned into pure silver. He calmly hovered through the hole in the glass into the command room of the listening post. As he hovered down to the ground, as he slowly walked over to the main computer and eject a virus inside the mainframe, making the listening post transfer the virus to the other listening post. And once the virus fully activates on the second listening post, then the virus will immediately infect the prison planet itself. The two listening posts, the mainframe that's connected to it, is connected to the mainframe into the prison planet itself. Once the virus fully targeted the energy shield, making it completely useless, it's only a matter of time before the virus runs its course. The other listening post has already been infected with the same brainiac spider bots. It didn't take long for the mechanical spiders to do their thing. Despite everyone in the listening post with the Green Lantern, because of the mechanical spiders' stealth capabilities, they never stood a chance. They caught the Green Lantern by surprise, as all of the infiltration spider bots made its way back to the mothership by teleportation. With the listening post taken care of, None for All had no more distractions. He focused his entire attention to the prison planet itself. None for All flew towards the planet, when suddenly he immediately halted his progress, as many ships were in his way, None for All appeared right in front of one of the ships in the viewing window, pointed his index finger into the bridge of the ship, and shot a death beam that pierced right through the ship. That went right through a second ship as the two ships exploded. As the rest of the Green Lantern spaceships begin to open fire upon None for All, every energy shot that the Green Lantern ships fired upon None for All was either absorbed, was absorbed, then released, and several beams of energy slicing through ship after ship. As multiple explosions started to go off, None for All was about to continue on his way by entering the planet's atmosphere, but something caught his eye as a humongous Green Lantern battleship that has several main cannons, and there's several energy turrets on both sides of the ship, of the battleship. And there's an opening near the bottom of the ship. It's covered by a green barrier where they most likely launched their fighters from the hangar. Interesting. None for All had to fly around all of the energy shots being fired upon him. By the smirk on his face, he's enjoying himself immensely. The huge battleship powered down their weapons, and None for All stopped moving as he's hovering in a good distance away from the battleship as a holographic image of a Green Lantern appeared. As a holographic image of John Stewart appeared. John originally thought this mission would be easy. Just patrol the prison planet with one of their newest battleships that the Green Lanterns just developed and made. He wasn't excited at first to not find action, but he's not complaining anymore. The holographic image finally spoke. I don't know what you're doing here, but surrender. You might be able to take out the smaller ships. Give up. You're outgunned, you're outmanned. Even if you pass and enter the planet, you will not get past the many Green Lanterns and the Manhunters that patrol that entire planet. Whatever mission you have has failed. Give up. And you might survive. Outgunned, you say, Lantern. Funny that you mentioned that. The holographic image of John narrowed his eyes. I hope your shields are very strong, Lantern. For your own sake. I would hate to damage your toy ship too much. None for All extended his palm forward towards the ship and began to charge energy in the palm of his hand. That's pointed exactly towards the battleship. John Stewart noticed that as he yelled out, raise the shields to full power. As the holographic image of John Stewart disappeared instantly. When that happened, None for All unleashed his enchanted, not enchanted, but enhanced Big Bang attack. The Kai blast met the energy shield surrounding the ship. When None for All's attack that caused an explosion receded, the ship was undamaged. Whatever shield that ship is using is still going quite strong. Cheeky little bastard. he noticed smaller fighters came flying out of the hangar of the battleship. I'm just going to refer to them as starfighters. It's just easier for me to identify them from. They're basically fighter ships. First space and all that. So I'm just going to refer to them as starfighters. The starfighters only have room for a singular Green Lantern to pilot it. None for All noticed there's about 10 flying around him, getting ready to attack him. None for All created a large green construct of a minigun, then immediately unload on the small fighters. 5 of the starfighters exploded, killing the Green Lanterns that were piloting them, piloting them, basically. As the small fighters explode, only leaving 5 left, currently engaging None for All. None for All shot the rest of them down immediately and went into the hangar. When the strange energy shield blocked his path, he dug his fingertips into the shield and pulled it apart, destroying the barrier in the process, giving him entry to the hangar. Hasn't been noticed quite yet. The hangar is filled with starfighters being ready to prep to fly. As None for All places his hand on the floor, as he begins to siphon the room's energy, as the hangar turned pitch black, only light you can see is the stars from the entryway to the hangar to the outer space, where the shield is back up. As that decided to go away as well, then suddenly the Green Lantern are being sucked out of the room, started to launch death beams at them, then focused his attention at the fighters and started to shoot rapid beams of death beams, killing all the pilots that he saw. Then he began to use his power ring to shoot concentrated beams of energy, destroying the small starfighters in the hangar. John was watching this transpire, gritting his teeth at the monitor from one of the cameras that has night vision, so he could see exactly what's going on. And he's not pleased what he saw in the hangar. He pressed a button on the intercom so everyone could hear him in the ship, including None for All. Right, everyone as everyone could hear that's aboard the ship. Everyone that's not currently on a main operative duty, making sure the main functions are being taken care of on the ship. The rest of you begin to formulate an assault plan. Meet me outside the bridge. You have your orders. Move out. Interesting. So the little lanterns want to put up a resistance. This should at least be entertaining. None for All looked up upon the camera that's on the ceiling of the hangar. I know you're able to hear me, Lantern. I'm coming for you. Right ahead and send your little friends to die. I got quite the collection of kills from your Green Lantern Corps, so I won't mind. After all, there's so many of you, I highly doubt you miss a couple hundred out of the large number of you Green Lanterns that are out in the galaxy. I'll be seeing you real soon, Lantern, as he shot the camera with his death beam and began to exit the hangar by smashing through right through the metal door with his fist. When he walked through the long hallway of the ship, when he got out of the hangar, as several humanoid robots made themselves known. Blast energy shot out of the palm of their hands. None for all absorbed all of the energy-based attacks. Then he shot them back, right back at the robots, out of the palm of his hand. Very easily cutting through the robots, killing them instantly. Blowing them up as laser turrets that are down the hall begin to fire upon None for All. He calmly absorbed the extra energy, then released it back at the turrets in the form of a death beam. As he kept doing this as he walked through the hallway calmly, finally he got to a large chamber. When he entered the large chamber, he was met by several Green Lanterns that were waiting for him, waiting for his arrival. Green Lanterns immediately attack as a humongous green construct of a fist hit None for All as he was sent flying through the observing window in the chamber, throwing him out into outer space as the Green Lanterns gave chase. None for All stop another large construct as he stopped a large green axe construct with one of his hands, stopping the Green Lantern's attack. Jessica began to growl. She deactivated her construct and got close and tried to kick him in the face, only for None for All to duck under her leg and foot and blast her with a burst of energy from the palm of his hand, knocking her away as she slams into one of the moons that's somewhat nearby. None for All use a portal to get to the moon. It didn't take Jessica long to get her bearings together. After she landed on the moon's surface hard, she made contact with the Green Lanterns that flew out the window like she did from the previous attack. Before Jessica could formulate a plan with her Green Lantern comrades, as None for All is hovering down in front of the Green Lanterns, as she narrowed her eyes and motioned her fellow Green Lanterns to get ready for a fight. Got to admit, you caught me by surprise. From your initial attack, Green Lantern, but no matter. You just have to entertain me. Meanwhile, I messed it up. You just have to entertain me in the meantime. So, who wants to die first? I'll take the lead, guys. Follow my lead. As Jessica immediately charged, flying towards None for All, just mere inches above the surface of the moon. None for All formed a smirk on his face and met her halfway as they both begin to dodge and weave around each other's attack. The rest of the Green Lanterns are shooting beams of energy out of their power rings towards None for All. None for All did only two simple things: either dodge the beams of energy or just outright absorb them. While dodging Jessica's attacks, he dodged a side kick, then blast a key blast into her stomach, sending her flying back a little bit, then extended his palm outwards towards her and shot out a big bang attack, only for a green dome construct to cover the Kai blast. keeping the very destructive attack inside the construct of a green dome. John floated next to Jessica. We'll take him together, Jessica. The other lanterns are exhausted. I ordered them back to the ship. Got it, John. So we finally meet face to face, Lantern. I wonder how good you are compared to the other lanterns that I've killed so far. Can't be, you're lying. You can't be the one that's going around and killing Green Lanterns all over the galaxy. Answer her. Allow me to enlighten you, Green Lanterns. Indeed, it's true. I'm the one that's been going around and taking care of you, Green Lanterns. I've killed many of your fellow comrades. Fought Guy and killed him. Alongside that musclehead one. I believe he goes by Kilowog. I didn't kill that one, but he won't be getting it up anytime soon. Wait, you killed Guy? Yes, I did. He was rather pathetic. Pathetic. My words are not enough. Maybe this will help you believe it more. As he showed up one of the power rings on one of his ring fingers, Jessica immediately noticed whose ring that belongs to. God, that Sky power ring. Are you certain, Jessica? Yes, John, I'm 100%. That's Guy's power ring. He narrowed his eyes. John's extremely angered by Guy's death, but he reined down his feelings and kept a cool head. What exactly are you after? I'm after a lot of things, Lanterns. I've already wasted enough time talking. Maybe you two working together? At least we'll make this a little more challenging for me. Shall we commence this death battle, Lanterns? I wonder who's going to survive the longest. None for all vanished and reappeared in front of Jessica as he slammed his fist into her stomach, lifting her up slightly off the ground. Then immediately palm struck her in the chest, sending her flying, skidding across the surface of the moon into a large boulder. Then None for All immediately capitalized on the surprise attack, then blast John with a burst of energy from his palm, sending John skidding across the moon's surface of the moon in the opposite direction of Jessica. None for All dusts the moon dust off of his shoulders, then put his hands behind his back and wait for the two Green Lanterns to recover from their from that attack he landed on both of them. But the strength that None for All displayed took John and Jessica by surprise. If it wasn't for John and Jessica covering their body with a slight layer of energy, absorbing most of the impact, they would have most likely broken a lot of bones, or just outright died. None for All was getting a bit impatient as he pulled John and Jessica closer to him with telekinesis. As they floated towards None for All fast, but gently, as they were set on the ground harmlessly. I do apologize, Lanterns, but I'm a bit on a time frame. I would rather spend more time playing with you two. I have things to do, people to kill, planets to obliterate. I'm a very busy guy. Nunfuro paused before he continued, as he noticed his small device in his pocket is going off, as he pulled out of his coat pocket, getting the notification that the virus has finally started to affect the mainframe of the shield generator that operates the shield to shield off the planet from invaders. Was that no longer an issue anymore? He placed the device back in his pocket, vanished and reappeared, uppercutting John under his chin, then kicking him away, then immediately charged Jessica, dodging Jessica's wild swings of her right and left fists and kicks, and grabbed her by the wrist and pulled her over his shoulder, slamming her into the ground, then kicking her in the stomach as she goes flying into the nearby rock formation as she hit the rock surface hard. John recovered swiftly and began to fly forward and threw at a powerful punch with his power ring, as None for All did the same. When the two power rings collided with each other, a burst of green energy was produced as both power rings pushed John and None for All back from the wave of energy. Once None for All stopped his momentum from the burst of energy from his power ring, and the power coming from the Green Lantern ring as well, he saw the two Green Lanterns flying towards him in a charge with their hands cocked backwards, ready to throw out a punch with their power rings glowing, only for None for All to create a digital portal in front of them. John and Jessica wasn't expecting that, so they were unable to fly out of the way, dodging the digital portal as they flew right into the portal as the portal closes, leaving them stranded on the other side of the galaxy on a dead planet ready to explode. With that taken care of, they won't be a problem. It'll take some time for them to get back here, if they're lucky enough to survive. Hope you enjoy your gift. He purposely transported them on a dead planet that was ready to explode on purpose. I got to say, I wasn't expecting that. How cruel of you. As Deku started to laugh. What can I say, Deku? Those two Green Lanterns were a bit annoying. I'm amused by this. None for All. But how? How did he even know that planet was going to explode in the first place? I don't believe that happened by pure accident. You honestly think I was just watching videos of recordings of that Kryptonian in that new god? That old god, whatever. Darkseid, basically. I also took a look at a star chart and sent a couple drones out to survey several nearby planets that's near this sector. Well, that's not near this sector, but across the galaxy. And I got a hit that was going through the end of the cycle of the planet's life cycle. Regardless, I highly doubt they'll die from a planet exploding. I just need them out of the way, and killing them would be pointless. This juncture, they're not important. They would only interfere in my business. They'll eventually interfere with my business again. I'll kill them then, but for now, I have a mission to complete. I would have to agree with you there. None for All floated off the moon's surface and began to fly higher as he head towards the prison planet. He made a pit stop and flew up to the bridge, facing the outside, looking through the observing window through the bridge of the big battleship. As None for All had a smirk on his face, as the Green Lanterns could see him, as he pointed his palm outward towards the observing window, and shot a full-power Big Bang attack, ripping right through the shielding, overloading the shield generator that's installed on the battleship, and completely obliterate the battleship, and made its way to the planet's atmosphere, as large beams of energy being shot at None for All by large laser cannons on the planet's surface. None for All flew right into the beams and shot out the other end, and shot out a beam of his own. As the beams begin to spread into several different directions and bombard all of the nearby laser cannons, as more laser cannons hover from the openings from the ground and begin to open fire upon None for All. Only for None for All to absorb every energy shot that was shot at him, and shot out another rapid beams of energy, destroying them as well, completely destroying all of the nearby laser cannons. None for All was enjoying himself destroying these anti-air laser cannons with great enjoyment. Something caught his eye as he sees a singular group of manhunters flying towards his direction, carrying some sort of metal bow staff that's about medium size, as the tips of the bow staffs occasionally would produce sparks of green energy flying towards None for All. As None for All's unemotional expression churned into a smirk on his face, he couldn't help but smirk. Let's see if these manhunters are all the hype. As None for All kept his smirk on his face, watching the manhunters get closer and closer to his location. That's where we're going to stop it. Hope you guys have a good night and day. Enjoy by time zones, and I'll catch you in the next video.